At the end of this video, you would have created this.
You're really a pain in the butt. Let's see how you can handle taijutsu. What the?
And on top of that, you get my custom made effects which you can't find anywhere else. And if you stick around till the end, I'll show you some tricks that you can do with them and get results like that of Adobe After Effects. But before that, here is everything you are going to need. For the gear, you only need your phone and a tripod. But if you don't have one, don't worry, you can always just place your phone on something, but make sure it doesn't move while you are shooting. For the costumes, you will need 2 outfits for the Naruto character and 1 for the Dr. Strange. Keep in mind that it doesn't have to be accurate, but it has to be different from each other. I'll explain why you need 2 Naruto costumes later in the video. The whole video has been split into different sections, and I have added timestamps below to help you navigate through the video easily. So with that, let's move on to the first section, which is shooting. Standing in front of a wall or green screen, you want to shoot the following videos. The first video you want to shoot is this close-up of you in the first Naruto costume, looking at the right side of the camera, and then do this charge-up move, then change into the second one on the same video, and then do the same charge-up move that you did with the first outfit. Then right after that, you want to still keep looking at the same direction and then say, let's see how you can handle taijutsu. Next, shooting in slow motion. You want to shoot this wide video of you jumping to the side as if something just hit you. If your phone doesn't shoot videos in slow motion, you can still reduce the speed while we are editing, so you are still safe. The next slow motion shot you want to get is this one with your hands in front of you and then jumping forwards and landing on your feet like this. Next, shooting at regular speed. You want to shoot this video in the first Naruto outfit of you jumping and landing like this, then do this charge up move right after you land. Then next, with the second Naruto outfit, you want to shoot this video of you acting like you just did a speed dash like this, and then on the same video just act like you are dashing from one side to the other like this. I advise that you get multiple of these because you don't know which one is going to look good while you're editing. On the same video also, you want to just jump and land like this and rotate your hands and act like you are doing the speed dash in this direction. After that, you want to shoot this one with your hands in front of you as if you just punch something and hold for a couple of seconds. And then finally, for the Naruto character, you want to shoot this close up if you're acting like you are just starting a speed dash. Alright, so changing into your Dr. Strange costume, you want to shoot this video of you turning around as if you just walked out of something like this, then say you really are a pain in the butt. And then on the same video, while the camera is still rolling, you want to just raise up your hand like this as if you want to attack somebody, and you want to make sure that one of the hands is facing the camera and the other one is facing the side like this. After that, you want to shoot this next close-up of you with your hands up, then acting confused like this, like you are seeing something going from side to side. I know my acting is very bad, but I hope that you guys will do better than this. Alright, so next you want to just turn and raise your hands like this, like you are blocking something. And the next shot you want to get is a full one of the Dr. Strange character looking side to side confused like this. Then next you want to act like something is punching him from opposite sides like this. There is something I forgot to mention. If you are shooting this video, please do it when there is nobody around, because I don't know how someone will feel watching you do something like this. Alright, the next one you want to shoot is this one of you raising your hands like this, then turning around and blocking something and acting as if you are blocking something. Shooting in slow motion, you want to get this video of you jumping backwards like this. And once again, if your phone does not shoot in slow motion, you could always reduce the speed while we're editing, so you are still safe. And that's about all the videos that we need for the entire tutorial. And I know that was a lot, so to help you guys, I've added an image of the entire shot list that I used for the video to a link in the description. And here's a funny story. When I tried to remove the backgrounds of one of the shots that I took, this happened and I had to come back and reshoot that part again. So don't be afraid to reshoot any one of them that doesn't work out while you're removing the background. And with that, we move to the first part of the edit. The first thing you want to do is open Capcut and then importing this image. It's going to be serving as our background for this part of the video. And then go ahead to import this video as an overlay, and as we usually do, just scale it down and then position it on one side of the screen like this. Then what you want to do now is to scale up the image that we're going to be using as the background. Just scale it up and position it like this. Then you want to move to wherever the scene changes, even if it's just a close-up, and then hit split on that background. And do this for the entire thing. Move on to where the scene changes and then hit split at the exact spot. When you run out of the background, you can increase it so it covers the entire video. So do that for all of them. Anywhere where the scene changes, go ahead to hit split on the background. and make sure the background and the video end at the same spot. Now what you want to do is you want to make sure the image looks a little bit similar to the background that you are seeing on the original video on the reference right here. You can just follow exactly what I'm doing. Just scale up the backgrounds like this, and on the ones where it's a close-up you want to zoom it in a lot like this, and the ones that are wide you can leave them the way they are. So go ahead to do this for all of the backgrounds, and once you've done that you want to add in this video that we shot as an overlay, and then move to that point where you are right in the middle of the jump where you are coming down, and then hit split from here and delete everything behind. Then position the video at the beginning. Then you want to move to where the scene changes and then hit split, and head to the point where you do the charge up move with your hands, and then hit split from there and delete everything behind. Then you want to go ahead to position that video exactly where the charge up move is done on the reference video, which is the third split that you made. And then after that you want to hit split, and then make sure to remove the background of both video, and afterwards move to the point where you do that speed dash move with the second outfit, and then position it at the end of this one because that's the last scene. And then afterwards hit split and delete everything after that, then remove the background of that video also. The next thing you want to do is move to right when the speed dash starts on the reference video, and then add a keyframe and hit split from there. Then move to when Dave Ardito is out of the screen on the reference, and then move your own video out of the screen like that. Alright, so the next thing you want to do is to add in this close-up video that we shot, and then move to right when your hands are going down from the charge up move that you did, and scale it down so you can see the reference. Now you want to move to right when the clothes change on the reference, and then hit split from there. Then move to the point where when you are in the different outfits and your hands are going down, and then hit split and delete everything behind. Now take that clip to the back and make sure to remove the background of the original one, and then move right when your head is coming down, and then hit split and delete everything from there, and then position that video right after the next one and move to the next split, and then split and delete everything from there. Then what you want to do now is to remove the background of that video also, and then position it to overlap on the original one that you had, and enlarge the scale like this. Then make sure that the next video is exactly the same size as the previous one, so that when the clothes changes there won't be much difference. And once you've gotten that, you want to position that video right after the previous one, and then next you want to add in this video of you saying let's see how you can handle taijutsu, and then move to right when you begin to see it. Make sure to scale it down so you can see the reference, and then position it right where the Ardito's own is happening, and make sure it starts and ends within that split that you made. And once you've matched it correctly, you want to go ahead to remove the background and then enlarge the scale like this. Next you want to add in this close-up video of you starting the split dash movement, and then move to right when you want to start the split dash movement and hit split and delete everything behind that. Then position the clip right in the middle of this section right here, and then at the end of the split also you want to split and delete everything. Then remove the background of that video and enlarge the scale like this. So go ahead to enlarge the scale of the first one so your legs are not visible like this, and then move to right when Dave Ardito lands and add a keyframe. Then move backwards to before he enters in and rotate it and move it out of the screen like this for the first part. And also on the second you want to enlarge it and position it so your legs are not showing like this. For all the close-up shots we have already enlarged all of them, so we don't really need to do them anymore. Alright, so with that being done, we successfully added all the Naruto parts of this video. The next thing we will need to do is to add in the Dr. Strange part. So you want to first add in this video of you turning like you just walked out of the portal, and then move to right when you are starting the turn, and then hit split and delete everything behind that. Then position it at the empty split that you made on the background, and right at the end of that split you want to split and then remove the background of this video. Now you want to move to that part where you say you really are a pain in something. I've forgotten what you say, but you want to move to that part and then hit split right in the middle of you saying it, and then delete everything behind and position it at the empty slot where Dave Ardito's own is also talking, and remove the background. Then scale it up like this. Now you want to move to that point where you raise up your hands and as if you want to attack, and then hit split right before that and position it at the empty slot that you have. Right at this split you want to hit split again and delete everything behind, everything in front of that. Go ahead to remove the background of that video and enlarge the scale like this. Alright, so now we need to add in all the effects and dots that were shown on the original reference. So you want to first add in this portal effect, and then make sure to, after you add it, set the blend mode to filter and position it on one side like this, and move to the point where the portal is closing, and then hit split and delete everything behind that. Then position it on exactly this spot with you turning. Then at the end of that also you want to hit split and delete everything after that. Now you want to go to layer and then set it to 1, so you will be behind your character. You can see it's looking very similar to the original video right now. So next thing you want to do is to add in the charge up effect and then set the blending mode to filter and move to right when it is starting to come up from the ground. Enlarge it and position it on yourself so it looks like it's coming on top of your body. Then at the end of the split, you want to split from there and then move it forwards a little bit and crop the effect backwards so it goes back to that point where the aura is coming over your body. You get something very similar to this. You want to move to the end of the split and then hit split and then move that effect to the next scene. And then looking at your reference, you want to make sure that the effect goes out at the same time as the reference. So click on blend and then add a keyframe. Then move forwards a little bit and then reduce the opacity by this much so it looks like the aura is disappearing. And after that, you want to hit split. And after that, the next thing you want to add is the magic shield for Dr. Strange. There are actually 2 magic shields. There is one that is tilted to the side a little bit and there is one that is facing the screen directly. So you want to move to the beginning of the one that is tilted to the side. And then hit split from there and delete everything behind. Then move that clip to the point where you are raising up your hand. Go to edit and then tap on mirror to make it face the other direction and then scale it down and position it on your hand like this. And don't worry, we are going to track it with some keyframes in a little bit. So you want to move to the end of that video and then hit split from there. Then now you want to move to the beginning of the next one that is facing the screen directly and then hit split from there and delete everything behind. Then position that clip right under, right above the previous one that you had and position it on the other hand that is facing the screen. Now you want to hit split and then delete the rest of it. So now you have 2 magic shields. Now we want to track the magic shields on the hand, so make sure to position it on the hand on one side and then add a keyframe from there. Then you want to follow along with the hand and the magic shield. The rest of the keyframes will automatically add themselves. Then you get something that looks like this. You want to also track it from the other part, the front of the keyframe that you added. And after you've done that for the first magic shield, you want to also do it for the second one. Move to one point and then add a keyframe. Position it on your hand and then add a keyframe. Then track it from the other parts of the video. You should get something like this. Then track it from also the front of that keyframe that you added. And once you've done that, you want to make sure to trim it to exactly that spot where the split happens. And after you've done that, we are done with the harder parts of the first section. So what I want to do now is to add in the dust effect. So go ahead to add in this dust effect and then move to when the dust is passing like this and hit split and delete everything behind that. Then set the blending mode to filter and reduce it to about 51. And position it on exactly that spot where your legs are touching the ground, and then enlarge it and position it like this so it looks like the dust is coming from the ground. And at the end, hit split and delete everything after it. Then the next thing you want to do is also add the dust effects for this speed dash that is happening. Set the blending mode to filter and then increase the speed to about 2 so it's happening very quickly. And then move to where the smoke is looking like it's going to clear and then position it at the end of the video. Then reduce the opacity to about 42 and you should get something that looks like this. Then split and delete everything from the end. And after setting the smoke, the last thing we are going to need to do is to add the motion blur for the speed dash. So you want to go to effects and search for motion blur, then tap on object and set it to the overlay video. Then the horizontal, you want to set it to about 63 and increase the intensity to 100, and you should get something that looks like this. Afterwards, you want to move the reference video out of the screen so we can't see it anymore, but we still have the sound, and then go ahead to export the video. And with that, we are done with the first section of this tutorial.
You're really a pain in the butt. Let's see how you can handle taijutsu.
Don't be afraid if it doesn't look very good now, because in the final part of the edit we are going to make everything look way better. So that takes us into the second part of the edit. Alright, so like we did in section 1, you want to go ahead to add in the background that we are going to be using for this one, and then add in the second section of the video as an overlay. Then scale it down and position it on one side of the screen like this, which is going to be serving as our reference. Then you want to go ahead to where the scene changes first and then hit split, then add in this second image for this close-up of Dr. Strange, then scale it up and position it like this. And you want to move to where the scene changes again and then hit split, then delete this image that you added, then move on. Go ahead to scale up the background that we added before, so this 3 on the side is no longer visible, and move to where the scene changes again and then hit split from there. You want to also make sure that the background and the end of the video are ending at the same spot. Then you want to scale it up and move it so the tree is visible like this, then split and delete everything at the end. Now the first thing you want to do is to add in this video of you jumping from one side to the other. Alright, so move to right when you do the first jump to one side, and then move forward a little bit and hit split. Then move to when you do the second jump to the other side and hit split again and delete everything that is behind. Then move that clip back to the beginning of the video. Now you want to go ahead to remove the background of the first one, and the second one also you want to go ahead to remove the background. Now looking at your reference, you want to move to right when Dave Ardito finishes his first speed dash, and then fill it down and then hit split from there. Then on the clip on the back, you want to add a keyframe at the end, then move to the beginning and move it to one side like this, so it looks like it's coming to that position. Then you want to move to right when the second speed dash starts and then hit split and delete everything from there. Then on the second video of you jumping to one side, you want to make sure it's covering a little bit of the first one. Then scale it down and position it at exactly that size. Make sure their size is almost the same. Then you want to move to where the speed dash ends and then move their clip to the other side and scale it up a little bit. Then hit split. Then you want to move to where the third speed dash starts and then make sure that clip ends at exactly that spot. Then copy the first speed dash that you made as you did before, make it overlap this one and then scale it so it's the same size and it's covering that one. You want to make sure to delete the keyframe that is at the end. Then you want to move to right when the next speed dash ends and then move that video to exactly that spot and scale it up a little bit. Then hit split at exactly that spot. Then move to when the next speed dash starts and then make sure that video ends at exactly that spot. Then copy the speed dash of the video that is behind and also scale it up so it's covering the current one that you have. Then move to the end and delete the next keyframe. Then you want to scale it up and position it at the middle of the screen like this. Then move to when the next speed dash starts, the final one, and then add a keyframe and hit split. Then move to when he's out of the screen completely, then move it out and enlarge the scale like this, so you should get something that looks very similar to this. After that, you want to add this close-up shot of you that you shot for the Doctor Strange. You had your hands up and you were looking confused, looking side to side, and then move to right when your hands are up and then hit split and delete everything from there. Then move that video to the second background that you have and scale it down so you can see the reference, and make sure that the confusion starts at the same time. You want to move to where the split is on the background and then split and delete everything from there. Then go ahead to remove the background of that video and then scale it up like this so it's covering most of the screen. Next, you want to add in the wide one of you looking side to side like you were confused. Then move to right when you are in the middle of the confused movement and split and delete everything from there. Then move that clip to the next background that you had. You want to move to right when the first punch happens and hit split from there. Then move to the part where you were acting like somebody just hit you. Okay, I just noticed something which is not part of the tutorial, but if you move this thing from side to side, it kind of looks like it's dancing. Alright, enough of that. So you want to hit split and delete everything that is behind. Then move that clip to right next to the one if you're looking confused. Make sure to remove the background of the first video and scale it down a little bit like this. Then move on to the second video of you receiving the punch and also scale it down so it's exactly the same size as the first one. Then you want to move to right when the second punch happens and then hit split from there, and then move to the other part, the second part where you were acting like you just hit the punch from the other side, and then hit split from there and then match it with the video that you had before, and then move to the part where the second punch happens and then hit split from there also, and then move to right when the third punch happens, the third part where you're acting like you just received the punch, and then hit split from there and delete everything behind. Then match the video with the one that is behind it. Make sure to remove the background of all three videos. You should get something that looks similar to this. And at the end, you want to make sure to delete everything. Next, you want to add this slow motion video of you jumping with one hand in front of you, and then move to exactly that spot where you are at the peak of your jump and your leg is coming down, and then position it right next to the video of you standing on the ground, and then hit split from there. Then on the video at the back, add a keyframe and then move backwards a little bit to where the speed dash starts on the reference, and then move that clip out of the video. You should get something like this. Then at the beginning of the one in front, you want to add a keyframe and then move to where the next speed dash is about to start, and then move it to the ground like this. Then on that spot exactly, you want to hit split and then move it out when the Ardito is out of the screen. Hit split, and the video that is after that, you want to go to edit and then tap on mirror so that it's facing the other direction. Then as the speed dash is happening on the reference, you want to also make sure that yours is passing to the other side. You want to add a keyframe right when the speed dash starts and move to right when the speed dash ends and move your video to the other side. Get something that looks like this. Afterwards, you want to add in this video of you jumping up and turning your hands around, then acting like you want to start another speed dash, and then move to right when your hand is rotating to the back, and then split and delete everything from there. Then position that clip at the beginning of the background. Then you want to also make sure that the speed dash is starting at the same time. So what you can do is to reduce from the beginning and then move the video backwards, and also increase the speed of the video. I increased mine to 2.0. And once you've gotten that, you want to go ahead to remove the background, and then move to right when the first speed dash starts of you coming in, then hit split from there. Then the video at the back, you want to add a keyframe at the end, then move backwards a little bit to where the speed dash starts. Enlarge the scale of your character and move it out of the screen like this, so you get something that looks like this. Then you want to move also to the end where the second speed dash starts of you running out, and then hit split from there, and then add a keyframe at exactly that spot. And then when Dave Ardito is out of the reference, you want to also enlarge the scale and move it out so it looks like you're going out of the screen like this. Then hit split from that spot. And once you add that, we are done with adding all the characters for this section of the edit. Next thing we are going to need to do is to add the dust effects and all the VFX that we need. So you want to go ahead to add this dust effect on the first speed dash, and then move to when the dust is starting to scatter around and reduce it to that spot. Then set the blending mode to filter and reduce the opacity to about 17. Then place it right when the first speed dash ends. Then you want to rotate it and place it on one side like this. Then you want to go ahead to split the excess at the end of that background, and then copy the same dust effect, then place it on right when the second speed dash ends, and then rotate it and place it on top of it like this. You want to also do the same thing. Go ahead to copy that one and then place it on the third speed dash. So right when the third speed dash ends, rotate it and place it on top of it like this. And also on the fourth one, you want to copy the same dust effect and then place it on right where the fourth speed dash ends. Rotate it and place it on the front of the screen like this. Then you want to trim all the dust effects so they end at the first background and don't cross over to the next one. The next thing you want to do is to add in the magic shield for the Dr. Strange character. So add in this one that is facing the screen directly, and then set the blending mode to filter and scale it down and position it on top of your hands like this. Then move to when the magic shield disappears from Dave Ardito's own on the reference, and then hit split and delete everything from there. Then you want to go ahead to make a copy of that magic shield and then place it on your second hand. Then as we did before, you want to add a keyframe at the beginning, then track it on top of your hand throughout the entire scene. Once you've done that for one of them, you want to also do it for the second one. Add a keyframe at the beginning, track it on your hands throughout the entire scene. The rest of the keyframes will automatically add themselves. Then once you've done that, you want to move backwards a little bit and then tap on blend, then add a keyframe, then move to the end of that effect and then reduce the opacity entirely so the magic shield disappears. Do this for both of the effects. And you want to also add the dust effect for this one where the punches are happening. So you can go back and copy the dust effect that you use for the first scene and move it to the third scene. But before we add the dust effect, we need to add the speed dashes at the beginning of this part. So that same video of you punching, you just want to enlarge the scale and then move it out of the screen like this. Then move to when the first speed dash has finished, then move it across the screen also like this. Then hit split from that spot, and then you want to also tap on edit and then mirror, then place it right when the second speed dash starts, and then reduce the scale a bit and then move it across the screen like this. So once you've done that, you want to go to where the first speed dash is happening and then enlarge the dust so it's in front of the screen like this. Then you want to also copy it and move it to when the second speed dash happens and then place it across like this, and make sure the dust reaches the end of that scene. So also go ahead to copy dust effect and then move to when the next punch happens and then place the dust right at that spot. Copy the same dust effect again and then move to when the final punch happens and then place the dust effect at that spot and rotate it like this. You should get something that looks like this. Now you want to make sure that all the dust effects reach the end and they don't overlap into the next scene. So gotten that, so go ahead to copy one of the dust effects and then place it right when the speed dash ends for the next scene, and then place it right next to your legs like this, and make sure it reaches the end of the video. So go ahead to copy another dust effect and then place it right when you do the second speed dash, and then make sure it ends at exactly where the video ends on the background. Once you've done all of that, the final thing we need to do is to add the motion blur for all the speed dashes. So go ahead to add in the motion blur effect and then tap on object and set it to that overlay video. Then in the horizontal, you want to set it to 74 and increase the intensity to 100. Then you want to move to where the second speed dash is happening and then set the object to that speed dash and do the same thing. Copy the motion blur effect again and then set it on top of the next speed dash. Once you've done that, you should get something that looks like this. go ahead to copy the motion blur effect and then place it on the last speed dash. After that, you want to still copy the same motion blur effect and then move it to that scene with the speed dash across the screen. And right when the character is moving across the screen like this, to set the object to that overlay video. This time you want to set the horizontal to 62 and then copy that same speed, the same motion blur effect, and in the middle of the next speed dash you want to set the object to that video, so you get something like this. Then copy the motion blur effect again and then place it right when the next speed dash is happening and set the object to that video. So continuing like that, you want to place the motion blur for each of the speed dashes, and once you've done that for all of them, to copy the same motion blur effect and then place it on the speed dash for the next scene, then set the object to that video. And then finally you want to copy that motion blur and then place it right when the next speed dash starts and set the object also to that video. After you've done all of that, you want to go back to overlay and then move the reference video out of the screen and go ahead to tap on export to export the video. And with that, you are done with the second section of the edit.
What the?
Alright, I know that was a lot, but if you have made it this far, I just want you to comment I survived the second edit in the comments, and I'm going to send you a free gift. I hope you guys have not given up, because we are still going to move on to the third part of the edit. Go ahead to add in this background and then add in this third section of the video as an overlay. Since everything is basically on one background, you want to go ahead to make sure that both the reference video and the background end at the same spot. Then scale it down and position it on one side of the screen like this. And then you want to move to where the scene changes from the close-up to the wide one and then hit split on the background. And then on the background at the back, you want to scale it up and position it like this. Then go ahead to add in this close-up of you turning around and raising your hand like you wanted to block something, and then scale it down like this so you can see the reference. Then move to right when the turn is about to start and then hit split and delete everything from there. Then position that clip at the beginning of the video. Now you want to move to where the split is and then split and delete everything from there. Then go ahead to remove the background of that video and enlarge the scale like this. Then moving to the next background that you have, you want to add in the full shot of you turning around and raising your hands up like you were blocking something. So move to right when you are in the middle of the turn and then hit split and delete everything behind that. Then position that clip right at the beginning of the second background. You want to move to where the two guys are in the air and then hit split from there, then delete everything after that. Then you want to also remove the background of the video that is left and then position it on the ground like this, so you get something that looks very similar to this. You want to also add in this slow motion video that you did of you jumping up and backwards like this, and then move to right when your feet hit the ground and hit split from there. Then delete everything behind and position that clip right next to the one that you had before. You want to move to where both of them are out of the screen and then hit split and delete everything from there. Then remove the background of that video. You want to position that clip so it's almost the same size as the one on the ground and it's right behind it. And once you've gotten that, go ahead and place it at the spot where it was before. Now what you want to do is to add in this magic shield effect that is facing one side like this. Then move to right when it starts and hit split and delete everything behind that. Then set the blending mode to filter and position it on that side where your hands are up like you are blocking something. And you want to also make sure that it's coming in at the same time where Dave Ardito's own is coming in. Then enlarge the scale like this. Then move to right when the shield explodes and then hit split from there and delete the rest. Then you want to go ahead to add in this video of you with your hands facing the front like this, like you just punched something. And then move to right when you made the split for the other video and then split and delete everything after that. Then go ahead to remove the background of the video that you have left and then scale it down and position it on the other side of the shield like this. Then the next thing you want to do is to move to right when the Ardito comes into the scene and then add a keyframe. Then move to when the speed dash starts and move that video backwards. Then on top the second keyframe, you want to hit split from there. And the next thing you want to do is to add in the slow motion video of the Naruto that you shot of him jumping backwards. And then move to right when his own jump starts and then hit split and delete everything from there. Then move that video backwards to exactly the spot where you moved the first one. You want to also go to the end where you made the first split and then split and delete everything after that. Then remove the background of that video also and then scale it down and make sure it's almost the same scale as the one on the ground and right behind it. Then place it right where it was before. Now you want to go ahead to add in this ground crack effect. Then trim it to right when the ground cracks like this and move to the end of the video and split. You want to go to cutout and then chroma key and then move the color picker so it's above the green. then increase the intensity like this, place it on the ground, and you want to go to layer and then set the layer to 1. Now you want to move to when the ground breaking increases on the reference video, and then hit split from there, then increase your own ground break effects that you have, and you want to still go to layer and then set it to 1, so it's behind everything. Then you want to move to where this second ground breaking effect happens, that is the half, and then place it over the one that you had before. Just make sure to increase the intensity enough so the green is no longer visible, and move to the end and split and delete everything from there. Once you've gotten that, you want to add in this glowing circle effect for the impact of the punch, and then set the blend mode to filter, and then place it right between the Dr. Strange and Naruto characters. Then add a keyframe and move forward a little bit, then enlarge the scale like this. Then you want to move to where the glow effect disappears on Dave Ardito's video, and then hit split and delete everything from there. You should get something like this. Then what you want to do now is to add in the shockwave effect, and then move to right when the shockwave starts and hit split and delete everything behind, then place it right at that point where the punch happens, and then you want to bring it to the ground and set the layer to 2 so it's above the ground crack that you have. Then reduce the scale like this to get something like this. Then make sure it's placed at the middle in between both characters. Then move to the end of that and split and delete everything. So you want to add in this shockwave that is facing one side, and then set the blending mode to filter, then increase the scale like this and place it in between both characters. What you want to do is to go to mask and then select horizontal, then place it on the ground like this and increase the feather to 6. Then you should get something that looks like this. You want to also go to layer and then set the layer to 4. Now you want to go ahead to add in this shockwave effect, and then trim it to right when the shockwave starts, and then place it after the shield effect like this. Then go ahead to set the blend mode. Go ahead to set the blend mode to filter, and then position it in between both characters. Then you want to add a keyframe at the beginning, then move to when they fly off, and then enlarge the scale like this to do something like this. Then go to mask again and tap on horizontal, then move forward to when the shockwave effect is hitting the ground, and then make sure you track the max so it's on the ground and it doesn't go past that, and increase the feather to 12 to get something like this. Then you want to hit split from this point and then delete the rest of it. Then add in that same shockwave effect again and trim it to when the shockwave starts. Then position it, set the blending mode to filter, and then position it right when both characters are going to be blown out of the screen. Then place it in the middle like this and add a keyframe. Then move to when they're out of the screen and enlarge it like this. Then you want to go to mask again and tap on horizontal, then place it on the ground and add a keyframe at the beginning. Then track that mask so it doesn't go way past the ground, and at the end hit split and delete the rest of the shockwave effect. You get something that looks like this. Now you want to animate the characters going out. So at the beginning you want to add a keyframe, then move backwards a little bit, then shift it backwards a little bit, then move to when the blast outwards is about to start, the blasting of both characters outside. Then add a keyframe at that point, then move it backwards a little bit more, and then move to the end and move it out of the screen. You want to also do the same thing for the second character. The beginning, add a keyframe, then move it backwards a little bit, then rotate it like this. Then you want to delete that keyframe that we added by mistake. Then you want to move to when the blast outwards is starting, then move it backwards a little bit, then move to the end and move it out of the screen. Next you want to add the dust effect. So go ahead to add in this dust effect, and then set the blend mode to filter and enlarge the screen and position it in front of the screen like this. Then reduce the opacity to 46 so you get something that looks like this. At the point where the second blast happens, you want to add in the second dust effect and set the blend mode to filter and enlarge the scale like this. Then at the end you want to split and delete both dust effects so they end at the same spot. After doing all of that, you should have something that looks very similar to this. Now the only thing we need to do is to add in the motion blur for the first speed dash of the character coming in. So go ahead to add the motion blur effect from the effects tab, and then trim the effect to be only on that spot where the speed dash is happening, and set the object to that overlaid video. And the horizontal you want to set it to 18 and the intensity to 100. You should get something like this. And after doing all of that, you want to make sure that everything is arranged according to the way it is. Then go ahead to move the reference video out of the screen and tap on export to export the video. And with that, we are done with the third and most difficult section of this entire tutorial. Alright, so you've made it to the final section of this video, which is by far the easiest. But before we get into that, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I have just one question for you. Did I offend you? Alright, with that being said, make sure you subscribe and let's get into the next section. Alright, so open a new project and then import all 3 videos that you made from all the sections of the tutorial in the order you made them. The first effect we want to add is the vibration flash effect for the point where the transformation is happening. You want to go ahead to follow these adjustment settings that I'm doing on mine, and make sure you position it at the spot where the transformation is happening. And after that, you want to trim it to be on only that spot. Now the next thing you want to do is to add in the shake effect. So go ahead to add in the shake effect and then trim it to only that point where you are landing on the ground like this, and then follow these adjustment settings. And you want to go ahead to copy that shake effect to point where the first speed dash is happening, and then just place it there, and also follow these adjustment settings. Then copy it to the second speed dash. Basically, you are going to place its shake effect at the end of each speed dash, so go ahead to copy that one and then place it on the second and the third also, and the fourth one finally. Then copy that shake effect again, place it on that spot where the character is passing in front of the screen like this, and copy it and place it on all the speed dashes, including this one where he runs into the screen. Just place it at the end, then copy that shake effect again, place it at that spot right when he's moving out of the screen, and then copy the shake effect again and then place it on the next two speed dashes that are going to happen. And once you've gotten that, you want to also copy the shake effect again and then place it on this speed dash of you coming in, and place it again on the speed dash of you going out like this, and then copy the shake effect again and then place it on that spot where the punch happens. Then follow these adjustment settings, also increase it a little bit like this, then copy it and place it on that spot where characters are flying to the sky like this. Copy it again and place it on that spot where both of them are hit out of the screen. Once you've added all the shake effects, you can go ahead to rewatch the video to make sure that the shake effects are on all the various spots that they belong, and adjust them where necessary. If you feel they are not enough, you can also increase the intensity. Entirely depends on what you want to achieve. Once you've gotten something that you like, go ahead to export the video, and this is what you should have.
You're really a pain in the butt. Let's see how you can handle taijutsu. What the?